What's up guys, it's Monday and it is a jam-packed day. There's gonna be a lot going on. I'm curious to see what happened to the clutch on the Barra Mustang, but in the meantime, we're actually gonna be doing some 335i content, and it's a very common issue that these cars have, and we're gonna go into detail on how you fix it. When it starts, it kind of sounds cool, kind of sounds like it has a cam. It's got that weird little sputter. But what that actually is a lot of crap built up on my intake valves. Or so I assume, I should say. It's always like a little maze getting out of the garage because the track width on the TME and the droop on the suspension is so narrow and low that it's like threading the needle getting a car in and out of there. But I still get to have a lift in my garage, so that's cool. A lot of you guys have been asking for updates on that car. Basically, MAP's down to help me do the engine as soon as I'm ready. It's just one of those things where I don't want to jump into that project until I kind of tackle the other ongoing projects. So I really want to finish the R34. I really want to get the Barra GT350 like figured out, and then we'll start doing some road and track Evo things.
That's self-adjusting flywheel. Oof.
The bolts got sheared.
Did they?
Like, well, the faces of them, look, they're flat.
Like that?
Yeah.
Well, they wiggled out and they probably
Yeah.
started hitting the clutch.
That's what was happening when I would push the clutch all the way in.
They look fine. Just they backed out. That's all they did.
Thank
They
God.
cleaned all the
This could have been so much worse if one of
Yeah.
those backed out enough to
screw everything up. Yeah. They just backed out.
Well, we caught it early.
Yeah.
So this is a super common issue on Barras, and Mackie actually sent me a kit that's like a locking plate for the flywheel bolts. But the problem is, because the triple disc takes up so much room and the bell housing's so small from QuickTime, there's physically not enough room for that locking plate, or it would have interference with the clutch. So we're going to inspect and see if we can come up with a plan so it doesn't happen. Stuff in my way. So if you guys remember, in one of the other videos I had that little borescope camera where I showed you how gross my intake valves look. So super common issue on these cars is a lot of carbon buildup on the intake valves, and it doesn't get as bad when you have port injection, which apparently there's some sort of confusion whether I have it or not. I do have it. It's sandwiched beneath the intake manifold, and spraying there will actually help keep them cleaner than just direct injection because you don't have fuel being sprayed on it. But I still have buildup because when I initially had my first walnut blasting done, it was around, I'd say, 70,000 miles or so, and I put probably 10 to 15 on before I went single turbo and changed everything. But the way that the PCV system is designed, it also does like sling oil back into the intake valves. So today I'm going to pull the intake manifold off. We're going to see how bad it actually is, and then we're going to go walnut blast it over at PSI and see the difference it actually makes in terms of drivability, idling, and yeah. All right, we're taking off all the stuff that I already had out before. Stupid freaking BMWs, man. Always killing my vibes.
Yes.
I'm excited to do this though. Man, what is it? I don't even remember how all this stuff goes together. I don't vape enough for this, dude. I'm working on BMWs because it either sounds like you're breaking something or it's actually working.
Yeah. Oh, you zip tied it. That's why.
I did?
Yeah.
I need to get, there's a company that makes a delete for this. This thing weighs like a solid 3,500 pounds. We don't need that. So now we should be able to get to most of the intake manifold bolts. I'll pull the valve cover off, pull the throttle body off, and rip that son of a you know what out of here. Also, I thought I would address this. All the people that keep saying that the blitzes don't belong in the BMW, I just want to put it out there. I agree. I don't think it suits it looks wise, But with the stock seats in the car, I feel like I'm gonna fall out of the seats, and I don't really know what other options. I guess Recaros would be more up BMW's alleys, but I just really like how those seats fit me, and it has the red stitching, so it kind of flows with the interior. But I do agree it's a bit weird, and the one seat thing is, I don't know, I guess it's kind of a little JDM. It does help that I just did the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot this stupid sensor. I suppose I probably could have left the throttle body on. I just wanted to take it off because I am going to replace it with a new one. This was just one that I was borrowing from someone. As well as getting that sensor unplugged underneath it, it's kind of a pain, so I figured if I took it off it would be a little easier. I'm not gonna lie, compared to a lot of the intake manifolds on the Japanese cars we work on, it is really nice that you can get access to pretty much all these bolts and studs. They have little like kind of clearance areas just for it. I think I might be ready to pull it off. Let's see if it cooperates.
Wow.
Yeah, that was way too easy, huh? I think I need to take this plug off. What did I forget? There's two little vacuum lines.
Yeah. Looks like they're little zip ties.
I don't want to like forget where they go, so I think I'm just gonna be ghetto and leave this in here for now. All right, let's get a flashlight and see the situation. So this is just sandwiched on.
Yeah.
So I should be able to just pull that off. That's my port injection setup. While this is off, I'll clean these injectors too. It's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll be able to see down in there, Mike, but it's definitely a little sludgy. Not as bad as I thought, but can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get those all cleaned up though.
A little dirty.
I don't know if it has something to do with the PCV system or why we would necessarily see this pattern, but if you look on cylinder number 3, the injector looks like super gunked up compared to all the other ones. It's very odd. Alright, before we walnut blast everything, I'm going to install these cool little trick fittings from Vader Solutions. One of these is just a PCV basically to AN hose that we'll have routed to the catch can instead of the ghetto slip-on one that I have right now with a zip tie. But this one is really cool. So this is actually the OEM flapper delete, and what this does is it deletes the fitting that basically allows the car under light load to pull vacuum and as a result, sometimes oil that gets all over the intake valves through these little ports that's probably gonna be hard for you to capture on camera.
Which ones?
They're like up on top.
Oh,
Just,
okay.
yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to see them. But anyway, sometimes that little unit will fail. So in addition to being an annoying thing because it sends oil into the intake valves, it also can leak boost when it fails. So this will just screw in and kind of delete it. And then we'll have two nice and fittings that we can run AN line to a new catch can from Vader Solutions as well. So I'm gonna replace this unit with that. Yeah, that's it. All right, one, just as easy as that. Yeah, get out there. And I should be able to just press this fitting in there. I should probably put the line on before I push it in. All right, well you get the idea, it just pushes in like that. In typical BMW owner fashion, pretty much anything you need to do in your car, you can get done with a vape and an adjustable wrench.
You're minus the vape.
Well, this is stripping it, so I think we're actually not going to use an adjustable wrench for this application.
Time to use the vape.
Oh, there's the camera. You don't need to film it.
You don't have to film it, but we also
just
probably could film it.
I think it's a good luck. That's what we're deleting. Don't fully understand how it works.
But just roll with it.
Yeah. If I pull the valve cover off, it would probably make a lot more sense. But the beauty of this kit is that we don't have to do that. So we're not going to. I think if it was going to spray 2,000 PSI fuel at us, it would have done it already, right? Man, got the catch can set up from him, as well as the lines that already come made, which is rad. Also a little note that says, don't tell anyone that Jordan likes little boys. Good to know, Omar. Hi.
How are you?
we're out here. It's a little oh, what is that?
I found the walnuts. They were up in this tree.
Do not drop the walnuts.
Here, Marco. Alright, can you help me get down from here now?
Nope. Bye.
Good day, my brother.
Good day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, how do we do this?
I don't know. Now we're stuck. All right, let's get out of here, brother.
That was really terrifying.
Marco said, I'm about to go to bed.
I'm out.
Do you want me to back in or front in?
Yeah, fire it up, dude.
Alright. Front in first. How far do you want it, Floyd?
That's good. This is the best way to do it.
Alright. Talk to me about this. What do we have going on here?
So this here is essentially just ground up walnut.
But you can't eat it.
You cannot eat it unless, I don't know, you squirrel. But it tastes pretty woody.
It's not like it's chemicals. Ali was like acting like I was gonna die if I put it in my mouth. Seriously, dude. Like I don't think it would hurt you at all. Look.
Alright, take a whole scoop and eat it at once.
It's like
It's almost like shells and not an actual nut.
I'm like concerned though if I swallow it. I'm gonna get a crackle and pop tune on my So if you brought your car here to PSI, I'm 99% sure they wouldn't make you pour your own walnut media, but I want to get the full experience over here. So, Adam, you're a tech here at PSI. How often do you guys do this on people's cars? Is it only N54s, N55s, S55s? What needs it?
It's usually just the N54s. The N55s and the S55s have an updated PCV valve system in them. So they don't really create so much carbon on the backside of the valves.
So hopefully that little block off that I did will make mine a little bit more like the newer, better engines. Because the N54 is the worst thing in the world. Right, Ali?
No, I have one.
Oh, never mind. Best thing ever. We don't need to fill this whole thing up, right?
Yeah, you gotta put the whole bag in there.
You're joking.
No.
Oh, we need a funnel. This is gonna take forever. He was gonna make me use the cup for like 3 hours. What's the purpose of using walnut media as opposed to like any sort of other media?
Usually walnut is less abrasive. Whenever you use like a silica or a sand, it tends to etch, and this does not etch.
Especially the aluminum.
Yep. So what happens is sometimes like people will sit on the backside of the valve, obviously where all the carbon holds, and if you're using like a sand or a silica, it'll actually burn the backside of the valve.
No, we were gonna make this whole B-roll section. We were gonna like literally pay for Shulman to fly to the African forest and go collect walnuts.
South Africa, yeah.
Maybe one day we'll get to the level where we can do a skit like that. Open valves get the towels, closed valves get the walnuts.
Yep. So there's a special fitting, a little notch. They actually machined this just for the N54s.
Oh, that's sick.
So you slide it in.
And that's just a normal shop vac?
Yep, just a normal shot back. It's got a hole in the bottom for media. We'll go into. So then you turn the vacuum on, supply air there, wave your magic wand around, and it becomes clean. There we go.
So Colette watched this like documentary, it's like a conspiracy theory thing, and now she thinks she's like a lizard person. I'm gonna let her explain, but I found one of her peoples. Look, it is your brother.
Aww. He's dehydrated. Get him water. Or is he already dead?
See, she knows
he's
her
still
people.
breathing. Get him water.
She has a mind connection with this lizard. Come, let us watch.
He's all shriveled up.
You can see how they interact and take care of each other in the natural environment.
It's cold out here.
Well, leave him inside. Let him chill. Can you explain how you're a lizard person so people don't think I'm crazy in the video? Because I went on this.
What are you talking about?
What did you say? You're a liztopian?
My eyes change different colors, so that means I'm a lizard.
She's a lesbian. No, what did you call it? What is the lizard people called?
Democrat.
Nope.
Republican.
No, the lizard people.
Lizardtarian.
No, is it?
No.
He's really dehydrated.
I'm so Wawa.
Yo, get him some Wawa, dude. He needs a Wawa smoothie.
No.
No, look, he's okay.
Let him take his time.
Oh, reptilian, that's what she is. She watched this big documentary and then she's convinced that she's reptilian because her blood type can't be recognized and her eyes...
I can't be cloned.
Oh, she can't be cloned because that's the thing. That she just knows she can't be cloned. I don't think I can be cloned either.
No, you can.
How do you know?
Because you got that basic DNA.
I don't even know what my blood type is. How do you know what my blood type is?
I just have a feeling.
Oh. People are going to be like pissed off in the comments. They're going to be like, lizards literally live in the desert. Why did you just drown them?
Because he is shriveled up and dehydrated and just needs everyone to chill.
He needs warmth. Get the heat gun.
No.
That's too much warmth.
Not on full blast, Mike.
Too much warmth.
Get the hairdryer.
Now we leave him be. Bye. Bye,
Shop pet.
Bye,
So
brother.
You don't want to talk about your reptilian thing? I wanted this whole section of it. I need content.
Well, you can go find it.
Back to your walnuts.
He scrapes it with the little dentist like toothpick, and then he blasts it with the toothpaste, and then he fills it up with the stuff that they make you gargle, and then they suck it
he
out.
uses a toothbrush,
Literally.
except it's metal.
Clean.
If you want to say it on camera.
Is this one dirty?
Dirty. Oh yeah.
Can you see it on video?
Yeah, there you go. Wow.
What Adam was saying too is it actually absorbs the fuel, which makes sense, and throws the fuel streams off. Because you can smell it. It just smells like
Yeah.
straight 85.
Yeah.
Catches the fuel. Alright, so that's it for the chapter over at PSI. I'm going to put it back together tomorrow morning. Sean, your new YouTube channel. What can I find on it?
Everything we do every day, all the builds, all of the maintenance,
DIYs?
pretty much behind the scenes of the shop. We got a lot going on.
Oh yeah.
I would put it back together tonight, but Glenn really wants to watch Bachelor, so I think I'll get some sass if I try to do it tonight. All right, it's a new day, and I wanted to give you guys an update on the whole Bear clutch situation. So it is a very common thing, I think, like I explained, to have the flywheel bolts back out. I guess the harmonics from the Bear crankshaft just tends to rattle them loose. So if you guys remember a long time ago when Mackie Lex sent me some products, he sent me a locking plate, but we couldn't fit it because it's triple disc. However, we can still use the top part to kind of lock the flywheel bolts down. But when we attempted to put it back on, we realized the bolts in the holes in the flywheel are actually a little ovaled out from it coming loose. So Monster's gonna cut me a new flywheel, but I need to send them back everything so they can rebalance it. So it might be, let's say, a week or two before that car's back on the road. You know, maybe we could get a rig and throw it back together, but clutches flying off are just something we don't really want to mess with. So that's kind of where that's at. Head in the shop now so I can finish BMW and we can see what kind of difference the walnut blasting made. It's a new day. I'm just trying to be real tedious and take my time putting this back together because there's a lot of little places I can mess up, whether it's a plug, a leak, an O-ring. I'm gonna start off by cleaning everything off and just get a nice clean surface for putting the intake manifold back on. 11 foot-pounds feels like absolutely nothing, but I just really don't want to crack one of these intake manifolds. Also, big ups to BMW. This intake manifold on these N54s can handle a lot of boost. This one has seen well over 30 pounds for quite some time. But then I think they started kind of cheaping out how they made them. I feel like because this was like the first like real turbo application that they did where, you know, you could really push it, they kind of overbuilt it. And then in the newer ones, like even like the super engines, the B58, those intake manifolds crack really easily. But these, for whatever reason, however they used to build them, are really good. Apart from mounting the catch can, I think she's pretty much ready to start. Hopefully we'll see a difference right off the bat. I think we're gonna notice most of like low throttle drivability and kind of like weird misfires and idle. I don't know if maybe we'll get a little bit of weird stuff going on at first just because we've had all the injectors out and if there's any like walnuts left over, but we'll give her a start. Like trying to start it with, or like priming it with stuff disconnected.
Right.
I'm gonna flash that real quick. It's possible that like the car's gonna need to kind of relearn and re-fuel trim it out. The fueling might have actually been enough off just because of all the buildup on the intake valves. We'll see. So I was able to mount the catch can right down here. Nothing pretty simple, but it just worked. I didn't have to like modify the line or anything. Yeah, I think it's ready for us to go give it a test, see how it feels driving around. I'm curious if this is gonna feel like going to oversized valves, you know? Since I'd like to think we pulled like 1 mil of gunk off. It's really gonna be hard to compare apples to oranges. Right off the bat, it feels less kind of bucky. I don't know if it's in my head or if it's actually from the walnut blasting. But before, when you drive this car at like low throttle, it would just kind of boom, 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 boom. Feels a little smoother. I don't think we'll notice much at wide open, but we'll see. I'm just trying to drive like normal. Before it would just kind of yeah. Now it's so there's also a small chance the car might make a little bit more boost than before if I was leaking boost out of the PCV system. It is a pretty common thing. I don't know if my car is doing it, but I'm gonna roll on it real quick in a second and see how it feels. Hopefully it doesn't do anything weird. How's it feel on the
Butt dyno?
yeah.
Feels good.
Okay. All right. We'll give her the beans. Let's see how she feels.
Yeah.
This thing is fast. Like, yes, it's cold out, but I don't want to say this is my fastest car, but it feels pretty fast. And I hate the videos I feel like won't do it justice.
Yeah.
Mike, your butt's been in a lot of my cars. What is your butt telling you right now?
I feel like this would put up a good fight against the Skyline.
Yeah. Dude, this thing moves.
Yeah.
It felt healthy too.
Yeah.
I don't know if your butt can feel the health of an engine. I can just, you can just feel it sometimes underneath you. This thing moves. It is also cold out, so it's probably the coldest IETs this car's ever had. It's like 50 degrees outside. Yeah, this thing boogies. All right, I'd say overall, drivability for sure improved. Idle, questionable. I'd have to really compare it apples to apples with like a cold start at my house compared to a cold start here with like walnut leftovers in the cylinders and fuel lines that have been disconnected. Without a doubt though, drivability 10 times better. I don't know if the pull was because of the walnut blasting or if it was because of the cold air, but thing rips. Dude, we're gonna clean the shop and then we'll come back and talk about it. All right, so that's gonna pretty much conclude this video. Another little saga of the 335. I'm curious what you guys wanna see with it next. I really wanna get some new wheels for it. I'd love to get some TEs, but the specs that they sell won't really accommodate the tire size that I want. I need like an 11 plus like 40 to be able to do what I want. I think right now I have like a 10.5 plus 40, but a tire kind of bulges a little more than I want and it makes it hard to look good. But anyway, I don't really know what else to do with the car now. It seems like it's running great. It feels great, it's fun, and I'm curious what you guys want to see for kind of the next chapter on that car. But yeah, it's been a fun video. Super appreciative of the guys over at PSI for helping, Vader Solutions, Jordan with all the tuning stuff. All the links will be in the description for the people involved, and I'll see you soon.
Hi.
How are you?
We're out here. It's a little
What is that?
I found the walnuts. I don't know. Now we got stuck.
Get out of here.